If it weren't for talking to them yesterday, I'd still be a bit lost because...
Where was your head all of these years? If it took one conversation with Emma, where was your head all of these years? When you had your therapist that you obviously weren't honest with because she didn't know the whole story of you. So she couldn't treat you properly. She couldn't help you. But you wanted to stay with her, even though she wasn't helping you.
She was helping me.
You felt comfortable with her, but you were just sharing the stuff that you wanted to share.
I know, but there's also the problem of not really wanting to admit it. And that's what my problem was. I did not want to admit it.
Because you think that a victim has something to be embarrassed about.
Yeah, because I was embarrassed all them years.
And that's where your mentality comes from. That would be like if someone approached Kayla after all this happened, after you came down, you fucked her, and 10 years down the line, she meets someone and she talks about her first experience. And they would have said, "Are you crazy? You went with a guy that you didn't know just because he said he loved you? What were you thinking? Why did you put yourself there?"
Nobody should be like that to do that to somebody else.
Right. That's exactly right.
The fact is that there are people that do them things. And there's a lot.
Yeah, there are. Yes. That's where the registry is helpful. I know you hate it. The registry is helpful.
The registry is helpful in some ways.
It's helpful in all ways.
It doesn't mean that just because there are people out there that are not on it, that have not been caught yet.
Sure, they haven't been caught yet. Because you know why? Sexual abuse happens in secret. It's kept quiet. Just like you wanted Kayla to keep quiet. Don't tell your parents. Make sure you delete your archives. Make sure you call Jesse so that my number isn't the last one on there. It's all a secret so that the rapist isn't caught. They look exactly like you do. They look exactly like all the guys who showed up. They're all different. They have families. They have kids of their own. They don't look scary. They're the normal people you would walk by in a grocery store. And someone would have to say, "Oh my God, I never would have imagined that he would do that." Just like your family was devastated to learn what you did. All of the families were devastated to learn. Some of them may not have been exactly surprised if they were victims themselves. And they suffered too. But most of the people had no idea. Because when you're online,
I was devastated what I did.
There's a big question that is hanging out there, is why were you attracted to a 13-year-old? That is the scariest question. But you acted as if you were. Because on that very same day, you took your dick out. That's reserved for people that you're sexually aroused by. And you're saying to her, "Don't worry about me, I'm a good guy. You can talk to me, don't talk to any other guys. I know if you talk to me, you'll be safe." A lot of times when people are messed up or they're going through really hard times, you can see it reflected in their lives. You can see it, in the way that they look or the way that they're acting. But deep down, attraction to someone, having physical arousal from someone is like an organic thing. What would happen if there was another 13-year-old who was a little bit more aggressive, who was flirty with you? And she said, "I'm not going to tell anybody. I want you to be the first one." And she told you everything that you wanted, that you were the hottest man she's ever seen, that she wants to fuck you, all of this kinds of stuff. What would happen if there's a girl who does pursue you and she's underage? That's really scary because this last time she didn't do any pursuing at all. You did all of it. All she did was say K. She just repeated back to you what you were saying. And that's what you needed to be happy. You needed that to appear to be happy anyways, because you were still open to other options. Even though you're telling this person that you are so in love with her. You were staring at her picture for an hour, which is complete horseshit, by the way. She's so pretty. You can see why daddy spoils her. That's the scary thing. All of those things are so terrifying. You are exactly what parents are afraid of. The guy at the yard sale that's going to make jokes with them and laugh, and he seems really friendly, but he has this other side of him that's a monster. And this, almost the scariest part of the monster is that he can't admit that he is one.
There's a lot more to me than what you see from that show.
It's a huge thing.
It is a huge thing.
And your behavior now is a huge thing too. I've only known you a really short period of time. Very, very short. And I'm being talked to as if I owe you anything. People in real life are going to run away from that as fast as they can. They're going to say, holy shit, this guy is just, he went on a rant accusing me of fucking some guy that I said hello to. And we're not even together. We're not married, nothing. I have no commitment to him, but he's acting as if I do. That's absolutely terrifying because that means that you can't read any signs. And I feel like the younger thing is like a power thing. Like you would have some level of control. And I feel like that's why you were attracted to Kayla, because she had nothing. She had no experience at all. And you could teach her because she was very, very weak. She just went along with everything you said. I understand that you can't help what you're attracted to or who you're attracted to. Like I said before, that it's like an organic thing. You know, everyone has a type and that sort of thing can change over the years. But for the most part, deep down, you know who you're attracted to. It's like if it was a crime for me to be attracted to men, I would have a real problem because I would have this attraction to them. And how am I supposed to be able to control that? How am I supposed to suppress that for my whole entire life? So thank God that that's not the case. When someone has an attraction or they're able to find something sexually appealing about a child, it's so scary. Count the number of guys who showed up, and that's the number of kids who were saved that very night. And that's the part that I don't understand is, where did that come from? How did it happen? Where was the attraction? The stuff that you were saying to her was the stuff that you would say to someone that you were sexually attracted to. And you knew that this was a baby, barely out of puberty, probably hadn't really happened yet. Her body wasn't even developed. She didn't go through the normal stuff that girls go through. You wanted her to count her hair because she couldn't have had that many. And you even asked later on that month, did any more grow? And yet the fight came when you got caught. That's where it started. Who am I going to point to? Who got me into this? Perverted Justice got money for doing the show. They were there when they weren't supposed to be. They should have stopped when I was talking to them. They told me to come there. They wouldn't leave me alone. You know that chat log was never edited. There was never a time when you said, no, this is wrong. I am doing the worst thing. It never happened. Those phone calls that you made with her made me sick. Are you anxious to touch my penis? Really? You want me to get a light so I can shine it on there and you can see it closely? Do you want to see it again before you go to bed? Make sure you delete your
memorize that.
I know it very, very well. I know it very well.
You memorized it. We've known each other longer than a month.
You want me to count the days like you wanted her to count her hairs?
Wow.
I'm trying to understand because I want to see the good in you, and it's just not there.
You're assuming everything. I can't stop you from assuming when you're trying to blame me.
I'm not assuming anything. The evidence is there. It's there. Your evidence is there. And
you're blaming me.
I'm blaming you for everything you said. everything you typed, everything you said on those disgusting phone calls, your giddy ass smile when you skipped up to the fucking house, all the bullshit that you have tried to pull when you can't even be honest. It's got to be somebody else.
I can be honest, but
You're
it
not.
doesn't matter what I say when I am honest. You don't believe what I say.
Lauren,
You got it stuck in your head that I was a certain way.
You're
You don't
a pedophile.
know.
Pedophile! That's it. You were so fucking stupid that you couldn't tell that the girls in those pictures that they sent you of the little babies were totally different people. But you accepted the fact that she was going to look a little different because she's still growing up.
And that's something else you're assuming. Which I'm not saying anything because of the fact that you're going to assume it. You don't ask me about it. You assume it.
Then tell me the story.
I did notice that there was different girls. But I was so blind to seeing that, to thinking that somebody cared about me and not my fucking wallet, that I didn't care. It went right past me. That's all I could see was somebody who was showing that they gave me a little bit of affection that I hadn't gotten for God knows how fucking long. Because all other people cared about was my money. What can I give them? It was somebody letting me show my affection without asking me for money.
And you lied about it because you went out and you fucked somebody the night before you're supposed to see her.
I know, because I never planned on. I know I said I was going to go, but I didn't really plan on going because I was supposed to go out with a friend that night for my birthday.
But you didn't go.
And I changed my mind at the last minute.
To get your dick wet in a little girl. That's what was better. It was better for you to go there. There was nothing else that you couldn't say that you were drunk, that you were high, nothing. It went on for a month. I tried to find something. Is there something redeeming here? Is there a time when he's on the phone with her that says, you know what? This is not going to happen. But you didn't say that. You said, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to get the condoms so I don't get you pregnant. As a matter of fact, you couldn't even say condoms because she's a little kid, so you had to dumb it down for her. I'll buy you a bracelet. You tell me what you're wearing, what color your panties. Oh, yeah, you're not going to wear any. But make sure you put them in your bag, your little suitcase. Paint your toes nice and pink. What were you going to do when you got to your apartment? You have this little girl who has no idea what the fuck is going on. What were you going to do? You're going to say, here's Bud. You can play with him for 5 minutes, but then you're going to take your clothes off. I'll make sure that I wear loose shorts so I can finger you and you can suck my dick when we're in my truck. I try to find something and there's nothing. It's no one else's fault but your own. You're not the victim. Don't ever think that you are a victim here. That somebody owes you something, that you can sue NBC for money because they did something to you. They didn't do anything to you. They exposed your ass, and deservedly so. You deserved everything that happened. You deserve to be on probation for the rest of your life. You deserve to be monitored for the rest of your life. You deserve to have people know about you for the rest of your life. Because that is a life sentence that you would have given to Kayla. You don't want to admit that you were that guy. I know you don't want to. Because then you were admitting that you were one of those. That you're somehow not different. Your circumstances aren't different. You're not as bad as Lurch or Bald Beaver Hunter who came right out and said, this is my fantasy. I wanted to lick her pussy. But the fact that there's this hidden part of you that will not let go of wanting to blame everyone else, to find some kind of a redeeming reason that this couldn't be who you are, when it actually is. When you admit that and you know that and you're able to release this hate that you have against everyone else, that is when you're going to start to get better. There's never going to be a cure for who you're attracted to. If that happens to be kids, there's no cure for that. But your part in that is to not allow things like this to happen. You were so desperate for pussy. You were so desperate. You wanted someone to be attracted to you. And Kayla never really said that she was attracted to you. She just kind of said, yeah, to the things that you said. Did you draw my name in little hearts at school today? Yeah. That's what you wanted. You wanted someone who was very easily manipulated. Someone who's not going to know that the stuff that you're into isn't normal. Someone who's not going to be able to recognize that she's a baby and you're a 40-year-old man. Someone who's supposed to protect her. Someone who even came out and said, I'm one of the nice guys, not one of those weirdos. And then it just transformed from there.
You know what the fucking problem is? When I said that, that's what I meant. I can't understand myself how I got turned around.
Because you were attracted to her.
I don't understand that.
You wanted her to want you. She was easy to manipulate.
That's not what I wanted.
If you didn't want it, you wouldn't have done it. And the problem is, if you don't understand it, it's going to happen again.
No, it's not going to happen again. It'll never fucking happen again. I know how to say no now.
It's not about saying no. She never asked.
It's all about saying no. Even my fucking counselors, all 3 counselors that I've had, and my psychologist said that I couldn't say no.
Your psychologist.
That's why I got used so bad by my family, because I couldn't say the word fucking no.
You couldn't say no to a little baby?
I couldn't say no to anything at the time.
She was never asking you for anything. You were begging her for everything. She never asked you. You did all of the asking, and you did all of the answering. So don't give me that fucking shit about saying no.
I try to be honest with you. You're assuming everything. I try to be honest with you about this shit. But you turn around and tell me no. You said this in the conversation. You said this. Fine. I know I said stupid fucking shit in that conversation, okay?
You said all of it.
It's all about you trying to understand what happened to you as a kid. Because all you're doing is you're fucking thrashing me for this shit for 10 years ago. But I'm still trying to deal with it.
That's the problem.
Fucking Church of God. What a bunch of fucking jackasses, Church of God.
It has nothing to do. This has everything to do with you. It has nothing to do with anybody else. All they did, from what I can see, and there's a ton of shit out there. From what I can see, they're just taking what you have done and they're talking about it. That's it. So you know what? If you don't give them anything to talk about, then there's nothing.
They're talking about it. They try to contact me. They're fucking sending shit to my fucking family. It's a little bit more than talking about it. To my fucking 77-year-old mom. Somebody sending a naked picture of me to my 77-year-old mom. That's quite a bit more than fucking talking about it. That's a piece of shit.
It's the same type of a piece of shit that would show their cock to a baby. You can only blame yourself, but you never do.
Okay, you gotta go, girl. I gotta get off the phone. I'm fucking tired of listening to all this fucking yelling in my ear.
Bye, asshole. Bye, fucking pedo.